Her name was Alyssa Carrington, 25 years old, heir to a billion-dollar tech fortune, and engaged to a man everyone called the perfect match. Only, nothing about this story was perfect. Alyssa grew up in the public eye, the kind of beauty magazines adored and tabloids chased. After her father's death, she inherited everything: money, property, influence. But more than wealth, she had charm and a secret taste for rebellion. Friends describe her as bored to perfection. Behind the smiles at charity galas and red carpets, there was something restless in her, something that didn't belong in a picture-perfect life. And then came Ethan Vale, a clean-cut investor with an impeccable background and a family just as elite. Within 6 months, they were engaged. The wedding was set for June 12th, an extravagant ceremony at the Carrington family estate. 500 guests, international media, designer everything. But on June 9th at 7:42 a.m., Alyssa's assistant entered her dressing suite and found chaos. The room looked wrong. The silk robe she'd worn hours earlier was draped across a chair. Her phone lay face down on the marble floor. Her diamond engagement ring glinted in a beam of morning sun. No note, no signs of forced entry. Just silence. Security footage showed Alyssa entering the room the night before, carrying a garment bag and a small box. But she never came out. Police were called within the hour. Detectives scoured the mansion. There were no signs of struggle, but the back door was unlocked. And then came another call. Alyssa's fiancé, Ethan Vale, had been found unconscious in his car, just 2 miles from the estate. Ethan was rushed to the hospital. Doctors said he'd been drugged, a mild sedative, nothing fatal. But the strange part? His car keys were missing, and so was his phone. When detectives questioned him later, Ethan swore he didn't remember anything. He claimed he'd gone out for a drive after a minor argument with Alyssa and woke up to flashing police lights. He said, "She must have been taken. She wouldn't leave me." But investigators weren't so sure. There were no ransom calls, no demands, just a missing heiress and a fiancé with memory gaps. Detective Harper, lead investigator on the case, noticed something odd while reviewing Alyssa's financials. 2 nights before her disappearance, Alyssa had transferred $4.2 million into an offshore account. Then, that same account was emptied the next morning. The money was gone. No trace. No known recipients. When police confronted Ethan, he seemed shocked. He denied knowing about it. But a search of his email revealed messages sent between him and an anonymous user. The same morning Alyssa disappeared, one line stood out: "Everything is ready. All you have to do is keep quiet." While the investigation focused on Ethan, another discovery flipped the case upside down. A witness came forward, a taxi driver who claimed he'd seen a woman matching Alyssa's description at a private airfield just after midnight on the night she vanished. She was alone, carrying only a small bag, paid in cash. He remembered her saying one thing before she walked off: "No one follows me this time." Detectives searched flight records. Nothing came up. No flight plan, no passenger list, no Alyssa Carrington. But they did find something else. A passport, hidden in a safety deposit box under another name. Lena Voss. Same photo, different identity. Issued months before the wedding. So, who was helping her? Investigators dug deeper and found a string of encrypted messages on Alyssa's old laptop. They traced back to a fixer, a known identity forger linked to several high-profile disappearances. The messages suggested a plan: a new life abroad, cash transfers, and a warning: don't tell him until you're ready to vanish. That's when detectives realized Alyssa wasn't running from danger. She was running from him. In the weeks before her wedding, Alyssa's friends noticed her behavior change. Nervous, distracted, checking over her shoulder. One friend recalled her saying, "If something happens to me, don't believe the first story you hear." The friend never forgot those words. It turned out Ethan wasn't who he claimed to be. His real name was Daniel Klein, and he'd been under investigation for fraud and embezzlement in another state. He'd targeted Alyssa's fortune, charmed his way in, and built a perfect facade. By the time she found out, it was too late. The wedding was her way out, a stage for her final act. Using fake identities, Alyssa drained her own accounts, funneling the money into a network of offshore shells. She created a fake paper trail that made her look kidnapped. She drugged Ethan's drink to buy herself time, then vanished into the night. When investigators pieced it all together, months had passed. Alyssa was gone, her money unrecoverable, and her fiancé facing charges for financial fraud. To this day, Alyssa Carrington has never been found. Interpol has flagged at least 3 women matching her appearance, living under different names in Europe and South America. Each time they close in, she disappears again. No ransom, no body, just a question that still haunts detectives. Did she escape or just become someone else entirely? Some say justice wasn't served. Others say she took back her freedom, the only way she could. In the end, maybe she wasn't running from anyone. Maybe she was running toward herself. Because in this world, truth is never what it seems. Subscribe for more real stories that haunt the truth.